Well, there is a video that's making the rounds on social media. It's a very disheartening, disturbing video, highly irresponsible video. And this is not the first time we've seen a video like this. We've seen it in different variations. Sometimes you're seeing people encouraging children to smoke or sending them to go and buy things that they'll be using for extracurricular activities. This time is a video of a woman feeding her child alcoholic substance, saying that she has to do this, or writing it in text that she has to do this every night just for her to sleep. So you see her tear open the sachet, she drinks from it, then she puts it in this innocent little child's mouth. And you can see the child tasting it. She drinks some more and gives the child some more. This is the height of irresponsibility. The fact that you're silly enough to do this, and sillier enough to film it, and silliest to put it on social media makes us realize that they don't even realize that what they've done. Silliest. Exactly. They don't realize that what they've done is a crime. You are abusing this small child. This child that did not ask to be introduced to alcohol. You're giving this child an illegal substance to consume. And the police, I know the police was on the hunt for her. I don't know if they've arrested her yet. I know the last information I saw was saying that if they had anyone that had useful information about how the mother could be arrested, that there was a number for the police had put out a number for people to call and share. But that's the height of responsibility. It says here, we are aware of this distressing video and are investigating urgently. Exposing a child to alcohol is illegal and dangerous. We urge Chooks Eric E., who was the person who posted the video, and any member of the public with valuable information that could lead to the swift apprehension of this mother to not hesitate to provide same. They can reach out to us on 091-699-67000. The child safety is our priority. And I hope that we save this number, not just for that woman, but for the various people, mothers, fathers, that have acted in the most irresponsible manner and are giving their kids alcohol. When we were much younger, back in the day, you could excuse ignorance. In this social media age, where everything is talked about, people are putting out awareness about certain issues. Ignorance is not an excuse. Back in the day, they would make jokes about sapele water and how, when you're younger, your parents will put like a cup of alcohol in your mouth. A number of people have had that experience. Those experiences growing up. But never to the point where you even have the nerve to now film it, put it on social media, and tell the world that you do this every night for your child to sleep. So, in case you did not know, it is wrong and it is illegal. Please do not give your children alcohol.
I think that is. I like the fact that the police swung into action. These are the kind of things that we expect the authorities to do.
Very proactive.
This is what the authorities are meant to do, to bring sanity in every society. And people have somewhat abused social media, whether you like it or not. They feel like social media is where you come to show how you live your life and so on, which is fine. But when you abuse it in the sense that you now use your platform to kind of like send a misinformation or disinformation to people who are, because there are other mothers who are not intelligent, who are not educated, who would see that video.
Okay, this is the right way. This is the right way to send my
That's it. But the risks are indeed plenty. One,
serious health implications.
The baby is still developing its organs, so the child's organ is not as strong as yours. Therefore, the organs or the body will not be able to assimilate or take in alcohol just the way an adult's body would be.
Also,
an adult's
the child
body
alcohol
would be able to, take it.
That's for her to be saying that she's giving this child alcohol every night.
She's damaging. She's slowly damaging that child's organs.
There could be alcohol poisoning too. So many things can happen.
Yeah.
Slowly. It's risky because, you might be deceived to see that the baby is looking healthy. What a beautiful child. But then again, the risk also there is that at certain point in time, that child would struggle with impaired breathing and so on and so forth. But then again, we're just going to leave this story, but let's sound a note of warning to every single person who's watching Breakfast Central this morning. Even as adults, taking in alcohol at a certain time and limitless one could affect and impair your thoughts and the way you act, which of course we know.
That's why they always add the caveat, drink responsibly.
Drink responsibly.
Even research recently, you will see that research will tell you that taking even minute portions of alcohol have been proven to be detrimental to the body. I've seen a number of research that has come out recently where they will tell you even just taking a little bit of alcohol is not very advisable for you. So if you're going to be making poor choices, don't do that to your children as well. And even videos of, I don't know if you've seen the videos of children smoking.
No, we've seen that many times. I think we've had that also
But
discussed
I want to know what she was thinking
on breakfast.
by recording that. Or she didn't know what she was doing was wrong.
No.
Or did she think members of the public would
There's a
encourage
word.
her and say she's a great mother, she's intelligent, she's brilliant? Because
So
I'm trying to wrap my
can I
head
say
around
something?
it.
It's either of two things. One, it could be clout.
That's it.
It could be that she just
One.
wanted clicks. People do the darndest things for views. People will do the most incredibly
Social media
ridiculous
is
things, and then when
it's
you
a
ask them,
problem.
they'll say it was just for views. You know, it could be clickbait. That's one. Two, it might be that she genuinely, wasn't aware. Even though ignorance of the law is not an excuse.
But it's the problem social media of the people using it. Because, I mean, a bread knife could be used to cut bread. It could also be used as a weapon.
Yeah.
You've gotten it. That's it. And I agree with you. Bottom line. The thing is,
human beings need to do better.
The thing is, we just need to be careful. And before we put anything on social media, let's be very careful. Let's see reactions on this very quickly and see what people are indeed saying. It's obvious that it's not alcohol. Even an adult can't taste that alcohol brand and not spoil face, let alone children. It will burn the mouth and the child will cry fire. Notwithstanding, this is bad parenting. You don't use your child for clout. You don't use children for clickbait and engagement. And then there are responses there, especially that most and so on and so forth. Anyway,
Okay, I like the second response. No, please go back to that.
So
Please go back to the previous one. The previous response, it says, Silas Anthony says, do you know how long the baby has been tasting that? So the fact that the baby did not squeeze her face when they gave her alcohol,
Thank you.
it might be that her system is used to it because like the
Her
mom
taste
said,
buds.
she gives her every night to make her sleep. So do you know how long she has been taking it?
Anyway, Oga Price says, even if you arrest her, it will be a long legal battle because you will have to prove that she gave that child alcohol and not water. All the same, using your baby for clout chasing is the worst parenting. If you were in America, that baby will be taken away from you immediately.
Exactly.
Anyway, people need to start going to jail for being nuisance online. I don't think it's real alcohol because it should be bitter and also hot. Do the toddler can't just take it nicely like that?
So I think you're trying to write, so the toddler
Can't just take it nicely like that, but the gesture alone deserves 10 years jail term.
So when we get to a system, or when Nigeria gets to the point where we have systems that prioritize the welfare of children, where we have social services that are reliable, a number of parents will then sit up knowing that if you act anyhow, they can collect the child from you, and by the time you take your child to social service, you would then sit up.
And it's
Parents are
already
very
happening.
careful.
Wait for the Nigerian police to get hold of her, and then we'll see what happens.
We'll see what will happen. In the Western climes, for example, you wouldn't typically see videos like that. People are very careful. Even Nigerians that live in the diaspora, they're very careful about disciplining their children because they don't want their children there. You are more important than your child. Your child is more important than you. So if you misbehave, they will take the child away from you. When we get to that point in Nigeria where children can be taken from their parents, put in
The problem is, where do you want to keep them?
so that's why I'm saying we're not there yet. When we get to the point, and I hope that we get to the point where we have a great foster care system, social services, and I say that it's important because there are children who genuinely need that, who are in abusive families.
State-run orphanages, and there are private orphanages too, so maybe social services can collaborate with them until they build their own facilities. But they have juvenile homes, juvenile correctional centers for juveniles that offend, but this is impunity. This has been taking that responsibility away from the parents. So I think an orphanage will be more suitable in this context.
Right.
Anyway,
because the parents are already behaving like they're not parents, so
you
can just. I guess it's better for them to take the child away from irresponsible parents.
Anyway, while some politicians are busy fighting each other and bickering, like Iya Bose and Mama Ojo in the Market Square, Delta State has said they will not bicker on a particular case because it is not political. It has become the ways, not means though this time, but the ways that the state would like to be, to operate rather. So Delta State Police, given the go-ahead, has started the crackdown on indecent dress. Olive, what are you wearing? Indecent dressing, yeah. Oh, this is beautiful.
As a Delta.
So why am I the one that you are looking at?
Delta.
Why did you not look at Wenga?
You're a woman.
Come on,
Can't a man have indecent? No. Why can't a man be indecent?
But you are a Delta.
So why?
It's closer to home.
That's the only excuse I can permit because I'm Delta. Other than that.
And then you're a good and shining example for young
Take a look at this video
all around the
world. So we see why we are here. You are shining light.
It's shining light. It's shining.
Take a look at this video, viewers. This conversation has been ongoing. Take a look.
Shame locked me for inside portable.
Wait, so shorts are classified as indecent dressing?
So that's the problem.
Gym wear.
What? See? Okay, Joe, let me hear from you first before I say what I want to say.
Well, that video that you see there is an alleged video that the police have started arresting, though there are rumors that it may not have been as a result of indecent dressing.
True.
But there are also rumors going around Delta State as we speak now that some officers have decided to take it hook, line, and sinker headlong to start the crackdown, looking for people who are dressed indecently.
They have deleted that tweet. I was looking for that tweet where they shared Delta State violence against Delta State Police Command, some laws where they should show that girl in crop top and shorts. They've now gone ahead to delete it on Twitter. Why?
Anyway, the bottom line, this is where we are going to. Like I said, that video was an alleged video that the lady was dressed indecently and was arrested and was being thrown into the police vehicle. Like I also said, there are rumors too from Delta State. We do hope that some of our Deltan friends can call us during the time when we open the phone lines, that the police have started the crackdown. However, this is risky. And we had said it here. I think Jasiri had a full show on this. And we also mentioned here that how do you indicate who is indecently dressed?
What's the standard?
What's the standard? Do you have a billboard? Do you have a poster? And what does the society say about people being indecently dressed?
And what happens to the male folks that sag, the ones that pee in the middle of the road?
They are part of it.
Singlets.
They are part of it.
Did they tell you that?
Topless.
Indecent dress. They said, in the conversation, I hope we can find that conversation online as well. They said, as long as you are indecently dressed.
So the question is, what is indecent
Whose
dress?
standard is?
Do you know that right now, as properly covered as I am, wearing trousers, let me stand here, I'm wearing trousers. To some people, this is indecent dressing. The fact that I'm wearing trousers, it's for men.
So those in charge of enforcement could interpret it.
They could interpret that as indecent dressing.
And then they would arrest you.
All I need to do is probably take away this jacket and wear a sleeveless shirt as part of my three-piece suit. I take away this jacket and someone says, why is your arm showing? It's indecent dressing.
Problem.
So what is indecent dressing? I think that there are other pressing issues that Delta State needs.
You can appeal to people to regulate their dressing and be decent in certain places where they go to. That, national orientation. But how do you enforce freedoms? This is not a Gestapo state.
Thank you.
We are not in Iran or Iraq
or Saudi Arabia. So why trample on people's freedoms?
Well,
because of all the things that are happening, kidnapping, cultism,
I was going to mention all of that,
and then you think it's the problem with the state is indecent dressing.
Do Nigerian leaders and those in power, do they have a certain type of amnesia? Do we have a certain type of
I believe
understanding?
Sometimes
because sometimes it baffles even me I was saying it this morning while on my way to work, while driving. I said, sometimes I pause and ask myself, am I okay? I touch my body and say, am I okay? Having heard some of these stories and reading through and researching and interviewing the people or those who are directly or indirectly involved, I ask myself, is everything okay with me? Because how would Delta, a state that has just gone through a political change, and yet we even still hear, hopefully our guests will join us pretty soon, maybe not today or tomorrow, we even still hear that even inside Delta, there's a divide amongst the APC, which in one way or the other, people are afraid it will affect governance. That's one. Two, there's so many issues people in Delta are facing. Remember the issue of the bad roads not being fixed, areas that don't have power for a long time, and so on and so forth. But then again, it now seems like, we know these things it's like somebody just wakes up and said, I know, I can feel your pain, but I don't like what you're wearing. Everybody attack anybody that is wearing this kind of clothes. Is that the most important thing?
Exactly. I mean, I have a different take. I just feel some of these politicians, maybe while they're going through social media and seeing skits, they believe that, Nigerians are laughing too much. Let's just come up with something that will make them sad or miserable for a while. Because how do you even imagine this is priority for a state?
Or is it a distracting mechanism?
Maybe, probably.
So that we can focus. They're talking too much on politics. Okay, you know what?
Let's
distract them so that they won't protest or cause any problem.
So,
distract
I
them.
think, like I said,
and people too should, you dress the way you want to be addressed.
That's another thing.
You shouldn't take it. We live in a very conservative society. If you're going to a party, there are certain things you wear in certain places. If you're going to a mall, it's a public place. There are people take their children to cinemas, to play centers. You don't want to see someone that is half naked. And we say that all the time. We're not saying, don't let it get to a stage where they have to police your dressing.
I'm clapping for you, Binga. Thank you. Go on.
Well, my answer to this, as someone who is a conservative dresser, I don't think I'm somebody who, I think I believe that to the best of my ability. So far, tomorrow it may change. But as I am now, I am a conservative.
As me as I am.
As me as I am. I'm a conservative dresser. However, I think that we're adults. We're in a democratic society. Part of freedom of expression is the freedom to express yourself the way that you deem fit. Do I see certain people's outfits and cringe a little? Yes, I do. Will I walk up to them and tell them to dress properly? No, because I'm not stupid. I will not do that. They're well within their rights to express themselves as they deem fit, right? That is one. Two, what is indecent dressing? Again, the idea of indecent dressing is subject to multiple interpretations, can then lead to abuse of processes, abuse of power, because people would determine, if each individual will determine what indecent dressing is. First, as a nation, do we have like any existing laws criminalizing dressing?
No.
So there's so many angles to this. Again, it shows a lack of priority. Our lawmakers need to go back to the drawing board and decide what is priority to them. Delta State has a lot of issues. We talked about that before. Just yesterday, we were talking about cultism and how these leaders said they want to start laying curses on people who are committing criminal activities. The police should go and face the cultists. The police should go and face those who are kidnapping. That should be their priority. Coming to prey on people who are indecently dressed is an evidence of, in some measure, weakness. Because you're going for the lowest hanging fruit. You're going for people who are not.
It's unfairly targeting women. It's skewed.
That was the next thing I was going to say. It's unfairly skewed towards women because historically, of course, it will lead to abuse. Historically, whenever they talk about indecent dressing, they always make it about women. It's almost like men can never dress indecently. So I'm completely opposed to this law and to the way in which it is implemented. I think that they need to go back home and do their work. Yes, last week, Jasiri had a lawmaker from Delta State coming to talk about this, and I was appalled watching that interview. Very, very appalled.
Male or female?
Female.
You know, she said, you need to let them know that this is in Delta State, and we are well dressed, we are well behaved. You know, she said tomorrow now you will say that they raped you. So those are the kind of conversations. So you are now making, in a society where we are already struggling with rape culture and victim blaming.
You're making
when
an excuse.
a woman gets raped, they are asking you, what did you wear? Why did you go there? Why were you there at that time? And we are using our platforms to advocate against these things that further rape culture. We're now coming out to say that tomorrow they say they will rape you. A 1-year-old child that is being sexually abused, what was the person wearing?
What did the child wear?
Napkin. The napkin is very sexual. We are really
these are reasons why we need to understand that there's a mental borderline. It's either you are mentally impaired completely for you to carry out such acts, or you need help. But then again, we understand that there's a need for a culture to be passed in terms of the culture of, oh, we are Deltans, we dress well. We agree.
That's something you do with your national orientation,
exactly.
your state orientation agency.
Yes, exactly.
That is what you do through your jingles, through commercials, through going to schools and imbibing that culture.
Maybe we should do a sample. Maybe we should do a sample
to make people to dress how you think they should be dressing.
If it is pidgin English, you can have an advert that says, "My Delta people, I beg make una dey dress well. Una know see our culture now. You break it down. Delta, our women, una fine, una beautiful. Now make una go need to cover body. Easy, just pass that message consistently.
Fantastic.
Push the information in primary schools, secondary schools, universities. Now, when you see people dressing decently, well, it's one thing in our culture where the mothers will call them and say, "Come, my dear, how are you? I don't like the way you are dressed." That's fine if you want to do that. But putting the police to handcuff people. I didn't know. That's where the
it's not even funny. It's not funny.
But then again, the people of Delta, I mean, you have to say, you have to make the decision. You also have to talk to those
local government I am completely against it. I stand against
let them
it.
Know that,
and I think that is not just disrespectful. I think that it is very skewed towards a certain gender. It's very unfair. And I think that is depriving people of their right to being treated like human beings. If that video is proven to be true, that those girls were arrested because of how they were dressing, look at the way they were even shoving them into that truck. That's
because she wore
shorts. And there's nothing indecent about wearing shorts and the big shirts.
You've said it all. As a friend of a Delta, you've said it all. So I think we should move from Delta State to the cold state, 042. Enugu, positive news.
It's something that we should be doing in Delta State. This news
to wrap up, wake up conversations this morning.
And we've decided that we'll take it upon ourselves. So all our viewers, though some people criticized us and said that sometimes we highlight some of the, and that's a lie. We also highlight the good stories. When the president did his speech, we highlighted that he spoke well at a certain point. So we highlight good stories, and this is one of them. Benga, back to you.
Yes, 042, as it's known, Coal City. It was in celebratory mood yesterday. The Minister of Aviation and Aerospace, Mr. Festus Keyamo, was there, and the governor. Was a lot of pomp and pageantry as the state launched its own state-owned airline, Enugu Airline. We've seen Ibom Air in operation for quite some time, and the feelers that we've gotten from so many people that have used it has been very positive, and they're timely and all of that. So this is the type of healthy competition we like to see, but there's a but here. Can you guys see the font of the Enugu Air? What does it remind you of?
Nigeria.
I was about to say, I hope that they will not have this airline.
No. It will not happen.
But it is a great thing. It is a great thing.
Well done, Enugu. How many years has the governor been in power?
I think this is first time.
So how many years?
2 years.
2 years. I don't know if you know where I'm going. Hold on. Wow. Let me do the calculation for you. Just I don't have a drawing board and marker. The governor has been in power for 2 years. In 2 years, he has been deliberate in ensuring that these are the things I'm going to bring to the state. One of it is the airline, Benga, just as we've seen. Whether you like it or not, air travel helps to improve the economy of a state because it helps to improve transportation, and you save time, manpower, and a whole lot. In terms of business, in terms of whatever, you name it, that's what air travel does. Aside that, there's going to be a lot of bilateral partnerships here and there. It's not just for the people of the state. It can also go outside of the state to other countries, and hopefully we will get to that level. But where am I going to? In 2 years. Does Lagos have its own airline? Okay,
we will get there.
It has Murtala Airport. Where
no, it's not for Lagos State.
No, it houses all the, Lagos is commercial, so it houses all the airlines.
Yes.
It doesn't need to have its own name.
But if you look at the reason behind this.
Street lights first.
Let's start with street lights and
dealing with the airline level.
The potholes.
The things that are on ground.
Let's before we go to things in the air. You are a very wise man. Tortoise is learning from you. But if you look at the reason that Peter Mbag gave for why it was important to launch this airline, he was talking about it being an avenue to give the young people in the state an opportunity to envision careers in aviation and the tourism sector. And he talked about the goal being that in the next few years, they're looking at attracting 3 million people annually to Enugu State. He also talked about making life easier for Nigerians in the diaspora. saying that they deserve a road to home, or a route to home. You know that every year, the Igbo people, Southeasterners, it's a thing. It's unfortunate that because of the insecurity challenges.
What's the name of that?
December. So it's almost like, without a shadow of fact, every family's pride was to have a family home, where at the end of the year, everybody will come with their family members. You know, they all spend time together as one big family. But unfortunately, because of insecurity challenges, a number of people have not been able to go home as usual. And during the festive season, the roads are jam-packed. People who don't want to go via the roads because they are afraid of the possibility of being kidnapped have to go by air. And then what we then see is, for you to get to Enugu, is a longer route. You're not going through the whole, you can't see like a Lagos to Enugu route. However, if you would like to find out what routes this aircraft will be flying, they started with 3, and they said they are hoping to launch into international flying along the airline. Oh yes, they said they are starting with 3 aircrafts, efficient, elegant birds made for their terrain, and their routes begin with a powerful golden triangle, Enugu to Abuja to Lagos.
Simple.
From there, we stretch our wings to Port Harcourt, Owerri, Benin, Kano, and across various other cities. But we're not stopping there. In the next phase, we fly beyond Nigeria into other African countries, China, Europe, UK, US, and other global business hubs. Enugu is home to one of Nigeria's largest clusters of tertiary institutions, and that their aviation strategy is key to economic growth, supporting tourism and hospitality, and attracting over 3 million visitors into Enugu gradually. So this,
you know what competition does?
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you, Benga. Let me shake your hand. You have done well. Well,
these politicians sound
Joe is an expert. I won't be surprised if he throws in his hat. But the thing about the private sector is he won't be able to do an Adilabu by being an anchor and politician at the same time. You have to, you can't serve Mammon and serve God at the same time. You have to choose one.
And you cannot do like someone that will leave one place to go and run, and then if you don't work, you will now come back. Once you leave, we replace you.
It's true.
So you have to choose it.
So be careful.
In the words of a compatriot, otherwise known as a former governor and the current minister of the FCT.
Are you planning to say Inyeneba?
Inyeneba,
I knew it.
You can. I tell you, you can be PDP and still support APC.
I was not around.
I'm just sharing with you that. But that is
it's public information. I mean.
Yes, public information. That has been the conversation to which I think we're going to have, where members of the ADC have said, listen, we're going to be in our political parties. We're also going to support the ADC. That's a conversation we're going to have. But let's not.
So maybe along the line now, I can be presenting Breakfast Central in the morning, then I'll go to another station and do the afternoon bells.
My dear, that one you have to sort it out with Kayode Akintemi. Mr. Kayode Akintemi. That one is between both of you.
I'm not
there. I wasn't there.
Just a question. I don't plan to do that too.
I'm a witness.
Anyway.